Let me tell you something that will make most people deeply uncomfortable. You don't need a lot of money to live well. But very few people believe that anymore. Because modern society has trained them, like Pavlov's dogs, to think comfort comes from income, not intelligence. That's the first and most dangerous delusion of our era. The truth is simple. You cannot out-earn stupidity. It doesn't matter how much you make. If you can't control yourself, you will still end up broke. Only now, you'll have nicer furniture while you lose sleep. I've watched this pattern repeat itself for 7 decades. Smart people, prestigious jobs, 6-figure salaries, yet still living paycheck to paycheck. Not because they're unlucky, but because they refuse to live rationally. They can't say no to the endless noise of consumption. And modern society has done a magnificent job making that noise deafening. Advertisers have turned frugality into something shameful, restraint into deprivation, prudence into poverty. So let me tell you what they want. Living below your means isn't deprivation. It's liberation. When your expenses are low, you control your time. When your obligations are small, you can walk away from stupidity. And that, more than anything, is freedom. But the truth is, most people don't want freedom. They want approval. They'd rather look rich than be rich. They'll trade decades of peace to impress people who don't care about them. I've seen it my whole life. People chase the next raise, the next promotion, the next luxury, believing more money will fix what bad thinking caused. It never does. You can't fix bad habits with a higher income. All you do is scale your mistakes. If you can't manage $1,000 wisely, you won't magically manage 10,000. If you can't save at 50,000 a year, you'll be just as broke at 200,000. Only now you'll have better clothes and a nicer car to distract you from the arithmetic. And arithmetic doesn't care about your feelings. It simply compounds your decisions, good or bad. Here's what most people fail to understand. The amount you actually need to live comfortably is far less than you think. Because comfort isn't the product of income. It's the byproduct of clarity. You don't have to live in constant debt. You don't have to buy things you don't remember wanting. You don't need to impress anyone. You just need to stop acting like you're immune to basic mathematics. Warren and I built Berkshire on simple principles. Spend less than you earn. Invest the rest. Repeat for a long time. That's all wealth ever was. But simple isn't easy. Because it requires discipline. And discipline is never fashionable. The world sells excitement, not prudence. You'll never see an advertisement that says, "Buy nothing. Stay solvent." There's no profit in teaching you to think clearly, which means you must train yourself. Value peace over pleasure, clarity over clutter, control over convenience. If you want a comfortable life, start by keeping your bills low, because when your bills rise, your freedom falls. Every subscription, every loan, every unnecessary expense is a little chain around your neck. If you can't sleep well unless your paycheck arrives on Friday, you're not living freely. You're renting peace of mind. And rented peace always expires. Now let me explain something I call the monthly expense treadmill. Modern life manufactures obligations. You start small, a streaming subscription here, a car loan there, then a bigger house because you deserve it, furniture for the house, insurance for the car, gadgets for the lifestyle, until one day you wake up, working only to feed the machine you built. It's a quiet trap. Each addition feels reasonable. But the sum of reasonable can become ruinous. The faster you run on this treadmill, the faster it moves. And the only way to win is to step off. How? Through deliberate simplicity, not deprivation, just clarity. Start by writing down every recurring bill, every automatic charge, every forgotten subscription. Then ask a brutal question. If I lost my job tomorrow, how long could I survive without panic? Most people can't last a month. That's not living. That's gambling with stability. The wealthy don't think like that. They build what we call a margin of safety. It's simple. Don't get wiped out. Design your life so you can survive long droughts. And the first way to build that margin isn't earning more. It's owing less. Lower expenses create higher endurance. They give you time, options, and the ability to walk away when life gets stupid. And life gets stupid regularly. I remember people in Omaha who spent money as if they were immortal, and treated time like it was worthless. Now I watch their older versions. Tired, bitter, still paying for lives they no longer enjoy. When your happiness depends on consumption, it expires as fast as your newest gadget's battery. But when your happiness comes from independence, it compounds quietly. Keeping bills low protects more than your money. It protects your sanity. It removes anxiety from your mornings. You stop waking up afraid of interest rates, layoffs, market drops, because you already built a smaller, smarter ship that can survive any storm. When people ask me how to get rich, I tell them, start by not acting poor. Acting poor doesn't mean earning less. It means needing less. Every unnecessary bill is a tiny surrender of freedom. Every fixed payment is a promise you made to work harder, just to stay where you are. Most people call that normal. They think budgeting is punishment. But budgeting is simply self-respect. It's your future self saying, please don't screw me over. When you start tracking your spending, your behavior changes. Because you can't fix what you refuse to measure. Once you see the leak, you finally fix the pipe. And once you see clearly, you start cutting ruthlessly. Cancel forgotten subscriptions. Pay down high-interest debts. Stop upgrading things that already work perfectly well. A discount on something you don't need isn't a bargain. It's a disguised waste. The goal isn't misery. The goal is breathing room. If one unexpected bill can destroy your finances, that's not a surprise. It's a design flaw. Keeping bills low gives you mental space. It allows you to invest boldly and live calmly. It keeps you from becoming a slave to the next paycheck. I've met countless high-earning professionals who can't quit jobs they hate, not because they lack income, but because they've built lives too expensive to walk away from. That's not freedom. That's luxury-shaped imprisonment. Remember, the goal is freedom, not spectacle, and the path to freedom begins with subtraction. If you can lower your monthly burn rate, you automatically raise your peace of mind. Every dollar you don't owe is a soldier fighting for your independence. Every bill you avoid is a brick in the wall between you and chaos. People misunderstand wealth. They think it's about income, but it's about the gap, the space between what you make and what you keep. That gap is your freedom, your margin of safety, your optionality. If your lifestyle expands with your income, you aren't progressing. You're inflating. You call it upgrading life. I call it upgrading anxiety. And here's the harsh truth. You will never have enough if you cannot be satisfied with enough. Every dollar you overspend buys a temporary high and a permanent obligation. People interrupt their savings constantly for shiny distractions, never giving compounding the chance to work its quiet miracle. But compounding works only when you do. Here's a rule I've lived by. If you earn $1,000, live on $500 and invest the rest. Small surpluses, compounded over decades. Beat giant paychecks, squandered in months. Living below your means isn't misery. It's intelligence. It's owning fewer, better things. Keeping obligations light. Making room to breathe. I've watched fortunes built simply because people avoided doing stupid things. Wealth isn't a jackpot. It's a habit. When you live below your means, you stop comparing, stop chasing, stop needing. That's when compounding finally switches sides and begins working for you. The irony is simple. The less you need, the richer you become. Real wealth is freedom from need. The richest person isn't the one with the most. It's the one who can say with calm certainty, I already have enough. That is the rational life.